Hello, I'm going to be completely honest and upfront. There is no conclusion to this video. It's a lot of speculation, reading between the lines, and prediction, I guess. So get ready to press that thumbs down button because you might be frustrated with the outcome. I'm David, and I've been working on a Raspberry Pi based product. It was originally based on the Raspberry Pi 3, but in June 2019, the Raspberry Pi 4 was released. Now they changed the connectors, they switched around the USB and Ethernet connectors, and they introduced small HDMI ports. So from our product point of view, we had to respin the enclosure, but really nothing really changed. It was just a faster Raspberry Pi, and it was sensible for us to bake in that product for our released product in the future. This was the first time that they released a Raspberry Pi which had the same connectors, however you could pay more and get more RAM. And when I saw that, I thought, this is the first time they're breaking their promise, or their kind of goal. Not a promise, I don't mind them changing the price really, but they're changing their goal of trying to keep that price point at that $35 range. So $35 is about £26 plus VAT is about £32, and up until this point, I haven't checked all my receipts for the last 8 years, but I've been paying around that price, and that's a delivered price too. That's not with delivery on top. Adding the extra RAM, you can pretty much second guess that commercial customers are actually being thought about with this product. And again, that kind of could skew the future of the Raspberry Pi, but it's a reality that it's built to be cheap, for kids to break it, for kids to play around with it. But the reality is that geeks, hackers, middle-aged men, industrial customers making industrial products are using them now, and that's great. There's an ecosystem, there's a software ecosystem, and actually, from our point of view, we could have made this product without the Raspberry Pi, and we could have made it more of a embedded product. But I'm wanting to prove that these are fine for the industrial market. There is a bit of myth out there, myth and legend out there, that you shouldn't use Raspberry Pis in the industrial marketplace, and I know that's completely wrong, because there's a software ecosystem, which means that if you get any problems, you can probably use software to fix your problems. And not always. Boeing found that out the hard way, but yeah, software can often, and the software community can often get you out of a sticky situation. So thinking about the reality of not child with little income buying these things, but middle-aged men buying these things, then naturally you're going to get, if you release 3 products with, originally it was 1 gigahertz, 2 gigahertz and 4 gigahertz, but they've now discontinued the 1 gigahertz, and now they release the 8 gigahertz version, so the 8 gigahertz model. Naturally you're going to get a skew in the market, because everyone's going to start saying, oh, it's just 20 quid more, I'll buy the 8 gigahertz model. That's concerning, because it might skew the future. It's what everyone's been asking for. I mean, I've personally said that I'm happy to pay a little bit more if it comes with more functionality, but you just got to remember where they've started from, and I think engineers love design constraints, and a price point is a good design constraint. They play with the figures. They obviously quote the $35 because all the components are priced in dollars. But really, from a British point of view, we're wanting something in the region of £30 to £35 delivered. Now, I'm forming the bomb today but I've obviously been watching the price and the availability of these 2 gigahertz models, which is now the baseline, and I've been concerned whether there's either a shortage of them, which is understandable considering we're in a global situation at the moment. That would be more of an understandable situation, or whether the tier 1 distributors that made the Raspberry Pi in the first place are finally saying, well, we actually don't want to supply them, and actually we want to supply them to the second tier distributors, which are the smaller shops that have popped up over the last few years, which again, reasonably I can understand, but it's that creep that I worry about. It's the creep that might occur over time, that you give it off to a smaller company and therefore they can't justify the delivery charge, for example. So what concerned me is I went to RS, and this is a changing situation. So this is now October. This is a changing situation. I went to RS, I did my normal order, and I noticed that the prices had increased by a tenner, around 10. They were in the price region of £38, £39. That concerned me. And then I did a search on RS components. So again, just to recap, the two main tier 1 distributors, the licensees, maybe you can call them, of the Raspberry Pi design, were originally Farnell and RS Radio Spares, and I believe they use the same manufacturer in Wales, the Sony plant. I believe they might make them in China or around the Asia area to fulfill that area. But apart from that, the majority of ones you see are made in the UK. And so it's always been quite easy. You just go to Farnell or you go to RS. And normally if you spend over 20 quid or something like that, you get free delivery. So it was nice, it kept the price low. So I went to RS. I alternate between RS and Farnell CPC. CPC is a kind of the consumer side of Farnell. And I noticed that the price have got, over the last 6 months, the price has gone up, but now even RS don't stock the 2 gigahertz model. Now I think what RS do, if they have it out of stock for a while, they just take it off their website. So I'm not sure whether they're going to stock it in the future, but they're out of stock of it. Now, a while back, they were selling the 2 gigahertz model, but at a quantity of 150. Now I presume the 150s go quite quickly to the smaller shops. I imagine that's how they get them. They stock them. So I don't know. I don't know what when you order 150, whether they come in bare boards or whether they're packaged. I'm not sure. Now today in October, they're not even doing that. There's no 2 gigahertz model on the RS website, and the only one I can see is this one here, which is the 4 gigahertz and the 8 gigahertz. And if you see, the 8 gigahertz is £69.72, 4 gigahertz is 53. So yeah, if I was wanting a powerful Pi and I've got the cash, I go and order either of them. But again, it goes back to the goal of the foundation versus the trading company now. Clearly there's a little bit of a split down the middle. Obviously the trading company is thinking about commercial customers and thinking about making it more ready to use for display companies, for example. So the HDMI, the two HDMIs, they sold it as a reason to have a desktop PC, so have two monitors. But really, that the reason there's two HDMI connectors on the Pi now is so that the screens companies, the outdoor display companies, the railway station boards, even the signs you see at the pubs now are all being driven by Raspberry Pis, and that's what customer they're thinking about. So it's not stocked on RS anymore. RS have, I think, acquired or partnered with this company here. what's it called? OKDO. Again, I think it's a way of pushing the logistics and the logistics of selling the pie to a smaller company, which then can now put on a delivery charge, which they seem to all be synchronized at £2.99. But even at this company, it's out of stock today. I can't remember if it was out of stock a month ago, but it's out of stock today. So even they're struggling with supplying them. So far now, out of stock, and it might be in stock in January of next year. That price, including VAT, £39.84. That is free delivery. So there's the £40 mark for a baseline Raspberry Pi. So, two concerns: availability and price. But is this I'm thinking this is a way for Farnell and Iris to say we are no longer wanting to stock this product anymore. If you want to buy lots from us, then maybe we'll talk to you. But they are trying to push the customer base onto these smaller outfits. Interestingly, Farnell and CPC, again, CPC is the kind of more of the consumer side of Farnell. They kind of do more stuff you need around the home, extension leads and sockets and that kind of stuff, rather than components. So interestingly, CPC do have them in stock. They have 529 in stock, but again, including VAT, £40 and 18 pence. Way outside my £30 to £35 bracket that I've always paid for Raspberry Pi. Rapid is no better, £31.93, but that's ex VAT. So added VAT, it's again the quite more closer to £40. But then you go to the tier 2 kind of shops, and it gets more reasonable. But then you have to add in delivery charge, which seems to be £2.99, and you don't really know their quantity that they have in stock. So I might go and do my big order from them, which I'm happy to do, but then I don't really know. They could say, no, we've only got 5 in stock actually. So £34 Pi Hut, $33.90 here. Now, I over the last 6 months, I had a bit of a rant on Twitter about this, because essentially I ordered a Pi and it came delivered in the start of the year for £32, and let me just check my tweet. So in, what was it, 34 days, the price had risen by £7.61. And that was I tweeted that on the 21st of June. Now, I obviously included someone from the Raspberry Pi into that tweet, and he bit on Father's Day, on the Sunday. And his response was, if you got it for £32, you've got a great deal. Which kind of raised the flag to me, because I know that wasn't a great deal. That's been the price I've paid for my Raspberry Pis for a long, long time. So I then sent back a picture of my invoice of where I when I last bought a Pi, and then he did the conversion of the dollars to UK and then plus VAT, which I said is about £32, but then you obviously, if you go via the smaller outfits, you have to then pay the delivery charge, which I've never done before. And I guess, is that a reality? Have RS and Farnell been taking a hit on delivery, or have they just got to a point where they're spending so much time shipping these small? You would think it's not exactly that big a thing to ship. It is literally a jiffy bag, and clearly they have big arrangements with the postal system, so they're not paying $2.99 for each thing they send, where the smaller shops probably are, and that's why they have to justify it. So yeah, he replied back basically justifying the price, which you can justify, which is fair enough. You can justify where the money comes from, but another Twitter user kind of defended me and said that it was at that £32 for a while. So, question is, are they wanting to inflate the price? Is there a shortage in components and therefore that's inflating the price? Is there a problem with supply? Are the tier 1 distributors no longer wanting to actually serve this community anymore? And do we have to now go via these smaller shops, which from an industrial point of view is a bit worrying, because I don't know how many they've got in stock. They'll probably be more than happy to have a conversation with me to tell me that, but it's just a bit of a flag. I think it was a flag from day one when they released the 3 versions of the same computer of where we are now. Interestingly, if they made the box 1mm smaller, and you didn't pay for insurance, or you pay for a minimal amount of insurance just to cover yourself if Jolly Postman did take this from you in the post. If you made it 1mm smaller, it can actually go into second class post for 88p. It's not tracked. It's up to £20 insurance, and it's 3 days. So you can reduce your postal charges, but my point really is not that. I'm not saying that these smaller shops are making a big deal a big sort of income out of charging $2.99. It's to say that natural increase, that natural slip of that price point that was fanfared from the beginning might be changing now. And if you want to, you can. Yeah, this is my main point. If you want to, you can, but do they want to now? You can price things in 3 different ways. You can price it how much it costs you, so you just add up all the costs and just give that to the customer and say that's the price. You can say what the customer is prepared to pay, and then again that in this situation that could be anything. That could be from £30 to £50, £60, whatever. Or you can price it at the moral price point. The problem with the price point of what people are prepared to pay is it's like a pint of beer or cider or whatever now. It's gradually going up year on year, and no one's waving a flag to say, wait a minute, I'm paying £4 for a pint of liquid. It's just going up and up and up and up. And then people ask for more pay rises, and then people, it just inflates. That's what inflation is. It's not just about the number you see on the thing. It's about how things just get out of control. And what I liked about the beginning of the Raspberry Pi, it was quite simple. Raspberry Pi created the design, they gave it to the licensees, RS Farnell made it, they sold it. Simple as that. Where now it's getting to that creep factor where we're starting to see different variants on sale that might change the price point of it in the long term. So I don't know. Where are we? I don't know. I will be watching it. It is now October. I will have to source my pies from the smaller shops. I will have to get in touch with them to make sure that they've got supply that they can supply them with. It's not big orders, but it's just the worry factor of the future. If you work in this world of electronics and sourcing stuff and bombs and building materials, that is not anything else. You just want to have a go-to that you go to all the time, and then you just forget about it in the future. You don't have to worry about sourcing. You don't have to. I don't want to have a sourcing person right now. I'm too at the early stages. I'm at the Raspberry Pi stage. I've got a price point I want to hit. I don't need to. I'm making an industrial product, but it's a nice little design constraint. As engineers, we loved constraints, and it's 10 years from now, I'll probably just be selling the product how much it costs. Where at the moment, I'm well, you know what I mean by that. It's not. I clearly have to make a profit, but I'm focusing on a price point, and that's what the Raspberry Pi did from day one. And there seems to be a little bit of a slippage. Working industrial, I can probably second guess what's happening, and I can completely understand what's happening. But I just thought it would be good idea to just wave a flag and just to say that there are people watching out there who are watching these numbers, and hopefully they can rein in. If they can get back to that kind of £30 to £35 bracket, I think that's where it should be. If I give a kid a £40 product, do I really want them to break it? Again, it goes back to the world we see today, which is lots of people are more affluent than they used to be. I wasn't from an affluent background, and I was a typical PC guy that always had the hand-me-down or the kind of the low-grade self-build PC where the other kid at the school had affluent dad who bought the latest and greatest. So I kind of have that price principle, going back to that moral kind of principle of you need to hit that price point. Anyway, I'm sure you're frustrated. I'm sure you want to press that thumbs down button right now because as I said, it's not concluding. But let's see what happens. Cheers. Bye.